Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. I have two topics for you today. Both my topics are points that you can ponder tonight. You can form your own opinion. In fact, please do write back to me about what your opinion is. My first topic actually is about our Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal, who made a statement where he said, do not use muscle, money, power to hurt Indian interest. He was talking to e-commerce company like Amazon and Walmart, American companies, saying that बाबा तू ये पैसा यूज मत करो यार तुम लोग. You know हमारा Indian business को problem होता है. That is what he said. Let's talk about it. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is about Chief Justice N.V. Ramanan. Chief Justice N.V. Ramanan made a few very interesting statements. Let's discuss that. Let's get right into the show. Now, like I said, the Honorable Minister said, do not use muscle power. He said, do not use muscle, money, power to hurt Indian businesses. He said in his statement that arrogant American firms have blatantly flouted Indian rules. He was talking about Amazon and Walmart. Now, you see, the problem is, we go out there and call people and say, come to India, please invest in India, foreign companies, please invest in India, please use our market, we've got big market, please come. And we show off saying that, listen, you know, this year foreign investment was X, this year foreign investment was Y, this year foreign investment increased to Z. You know, the last government couldn't get any foreign investment. Look at us, look at the amount of foreign investment we've got. And that is nice too. Acha. Now you invite all these foreign investors. When these foreign investors comes to India and they start to establish themselves, first they invest in India, they buy land, they give employment, they employ hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people, they employ all of them and they start producing and they start marketing their products in India. Because mind you, these foreign investors, these foreign companies don't come to India because they love India. They are here to make profits. We are a huge market. And they're here to make profit out of that market. So they come. They come and they start manufacturing after investment. And then obviously they've invested so much money, they are going to make profits. So they invest more money to ensure that they make more profits. Acha. Now when they start making profits, that is when the government wakes up. And the government says, itna kaisa paisa bana raha hai? How can you make so much money? See my this company is suffering. See my that company is suffering. See my this industry is suffering. Or worse, there are government bodies, government agencies, enforcement agencies, IT and all come and say, no, this tax has not been paid, that tax has not been paid, this license has not been paid, so on and so forth. So you invite these companies, you tell them to come, you tell them to invest, and then you create problems for them. What is the message that you are sending to the foreign investment worldwide? What is the message you are sending? You are sending a message of being absolutely unprofessional. Unprofessional. That's what you are sending the message. Now, let us understand that are these companies, let's talk about what our Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal was talking about. Let us talk about e-commerce company. Walmart and Amazon. Are they really causing such a big dent into the marketplace? What they are saying is, you are spending so much money, you are giving so much discounts, you are giving so much offers to the consumer. Which consumer? Indian consumer. Not for Nepal ka consumer, not Sri Lanka ka consumer, Indian consumer. Indian consumer, you are giving so much good offers, so much choice, so much variety, so much benefits that it is harming the local mom and pop shop. Acha, theek hai. Is there a fact in that? There is a fact in that. One doesn't deny it. But let us understand some basic facts and figures. You see, our total retail market is 59 lakh crores is our total retail market. Do you know how much of it is captured by e-commerce per se? Total e-commerce is around 4% of this 59 lakh crores. The rest is still with the mom and pop shop. Acha, the 4% that you are talking about, is it harming so much? Is it really harming so much? What are you talking about? 4% is shaking your mom and pop shop. So that's one thing I don't understand. The next thing, as a marketer, let me tell you one more. I'll give you one more example. A lot of people would start a small, in Marathi we call it bakda. You know, it's a small shop. And they would start selling vada paos. So they would take loan, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees. They would take loan, buy potatoes, buy some onions, buy some chilies, and they would make vada pav. That was easy. They would sell vada pav and they would somehow earn a living. Now, vada pav is a very favorite delicacy in Mumbai. People love to eat vada pav. All of us in Mumbai and people who are watching would know that we love to eat our vada pav. So, vada pav business actually took off. So then what happened was, a person who had little more money, he said, good, yeah, this is good business. So what he did is he bought a slightly larger shop. Started making vada pavs there, and with vada pav he also started serving tea. Did exceedingly well. Then there was somebody who had more money. He said, this is good business. He started making vada pav, he started making pakodes, he started making tea, and he started selling. That worked wonders. And today, vada pav is a few 100 crore market. There are branded vada pavs. There are vada pav shops like Canon which are doing fabulously well in Maharashtra. The market of vada pav grew. But now imagine, when that person who gave that tea and that vada pav, the first upgrade, had we stopped that person and say, hey, kya hai? You are giving tea with vada pav, that person who is selling vada pav in a small shop, he will lose his market, and we stopped the growth, would the vada pav market grow the way it is grown in Maharashtra? I am giving a very small and simple example. You see, market by nature is like universe. It needs to grow. When it grows, it's constantly growing. When the market constantly grows, the demand grows with the market. The product becomes more successful. The market becomes more successful. The players in the market gets more money. That is the nature of market, and any marketer will agree to what I am trying to say. You cannot shunt the market by saying, hey, don't invest money, Baba, the market will grow, then the small players will suffer. It is not the way you do. That's not the way. Putting restriction on people who are helping the market to grow is not the way to do things. You will be killing the market. You will be shunting the market. Imagine you are closing the market into the box. If you close a market in a box, the market will only grow up to what the box size is. You have to open the lid, only then will the market grow bigger, and the market grow bigger, the demand grows bigger. The demand grows bigger, your economy grows. And that's the point I am trying to make. Therefore, am I saying that the small players should suffer? No. This same minister and his ministry and his government should try to ensure that these small players are empowered, giving them loans, reducing their tax, giving them small spaces, small free spaces so that they can put up their shops and they don't have to pay huge rent, helping them to grow. This government can go up to them, get experts to help them to innovate. Because the best way to combat a competition is to innovate. If the big players are offering you discounts and choice and free gifts and all of that, small players can innovate. Once upon a time, when bakers would bake cakes, the cakes were simple cakes. So there was, beautiful looking cakes. And you could go and you could buy these cakes from any shop you want. Some would bake it very good, some would not bake it so good. So you could buy, the choice was yours, but they were cakes. Till such time that one person called a person and said, come here, why are you buying this cake for? He said, it is buying for my son's birthday. He said, what is your son's name? He says, my son's name is so-and-so, Rahul for instance. So he said, okay, happy birthday Rahul. The baker wrote that with the cream. Arey, the next guy said, arey, cake mein naam likha hai yaar. And that became innovation. So that baker, that small baker, was more prominent than rest of the bakers, because that man with that simple small little cream wrote the name and he became unique. Innovation. This is what our small mom and pop shops can do. This is what the government can teach them. Experts can teach them. Hire experts, take workshops for them, conduct workshops for them and teach them. So it is always easy to say, "तू नहीं करने का, तुम बंद करो, तुम बंद करो, तुम चालू करो." This is what you call protection, and India has always been into this kind of role playing. Protection. Protecting our market. Protection does not help the country to grow. Protection does not help the business to grow. Protection does not help demand to grow. Innovation, financial support, loans helps business and small players to grow. The next time, let the Honorable Minister try doing that. Justice N.V. Ramanan made a very interesting statement. In fact, he made a couple of very interesting statements. He said, we live in a democracy. The very essence of a democracy is that its citizenry has a role to play, whether directly or indirectly, in the laws that govern them. In India, it is done through elections, where the people get to exercise their universal adult franchise to elect the people who form part of the parliament, which enacts law. In the 17 national general elections, hear this out, in the 17 national general elections held so far, the people have changed the ruling party or combination of party 8 times, which accounts for nearly 50% of the number of general elections. In spite of large-scale inequalities, illiteracies, backwardness, poverty and alleged ignorance, the people of independent India have proved themselves to be intelligent and up to the task. The masses have performed their duties reasonably well. Now, it is the turn of those who are manning the key organs of the state to ponder if they are living up to the constitutional mandate. We had 17 elections, Lok Sabha elections. In 17 Lok Sabha elections, we have changed the government or a combination of government 8 times. People have changed. People have thrown out somebody, bought in somebody else. Thrown out somebody, bought in somebody else. What does that mean? That means that people, though we are called ignorant, though we are called backwardness, though we are called illiterate, though we are called whatever, this audience, this people of this country, they have voted and they have done their jobs. They have thrown out, they have bought in. But have the political class done theirs? In the same lecture, Justice Ramanan also spoke about mere right to change ruler is no guard against tyranny. What he said is that you can vote how much ever times you want. You can change. You can say, okay, ye Prime Minister kharab hai, nikalo, get the next Prime Minister. What guarantee that the person who comes in next is better than the Prime Minister you already have? That doesn't mean that therefore you should not exercise your right of choice. But the fact remains that is changing the ruler the ultimate solution for the betterment of this country? What he says, and I quote him, it has always been well recognized that mere right to change the ruler once every few years by itself need not be a guarantee against tyranny. The idea that people are the ultimate sovereign and also to be found in notion of human dignity and autonomy. I thought this was a very profound statement. Let us think 3 things he said. He said sovereignty, human dignity, and he spoke about autonomy. Now, to understand what he said, we have to compare both his statements. In the first statement, he says that the voters of India, the people of India, in 17 Lok Sabha elections have changed the government 8 times, almost 50%. In the second statement, he says that by mere changing the ruler, the tyranny will not end. You have to go beyond it. You have to change yourself. You have to change your thinking process. I thought the statement what he made was absolutely profound. This is what I wanted to share with you tonight. Till I meet you next time. नमस्कार।
पता है इन सब लोगों में एक चीज कॉमन है, गैस करिए क्या? नहीं पता? चलिए एक हिंट देती हूँ, ये सब आपके परिवार से जुड़े हैं। अरे फिर भी नहीं पहचाना आपने इन्हें? चलिए कोई बात नहीं, वैसे भी ये लोग पर्दे के पीछे ही तो काम करते थे। इन सब की डेथ हो गई है कोविड से, ताकि आप और आपका परिवार सेफ रह सके। और यही तो है परिवार का मतलब, अपनों की रक्षा करना। जो हमारे लिए जान दे सकते हैं वो अपने सगे नहीं तो फिर कौन है? मुंबई पुलिस।